Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Rye and it is once again time for some hot Fletcher action. Because of course, every week, Captain Rye has got to take his Fletcher into some kind of ridiculous situation. In the matchup here, it's the Fire Islands, it's Domination match mode, and my team has the Destroyer advantage only because they have me in the game. Now, as the battle gets underway, I'm headed towards the B cap point, and I don't really have much in the way of backup coming with me. If you look at the mini-map, the vast majority of my team is actually kind of starting to lemming over to the C cap point. Fun story, if you've been following my posts on Facebook, you'll know that I'm not having a particularly good week as far as my teams and win rates go in World of Warships. The reason? The vast majority of the teams that I seem to be ending up on, especially when I'm in the Fletcher, all seem to be doing exactly what this team is, and that is lemming training off to the C cap point. Remember, passive teams tend to lose games. Not always the case, but certainly the majority of the time. Now, as I'm up here capping, I get close enough and I spot the Kiev. Thank God the Russian destroyers have such terrible detection ranges by comparison. So he's wide out in the open, and I'm really hoping that the Edinburgh behind me here will go ahead and fuck him up. Of course, the Kiev gets behind that island, so the Edinburgh can't do that, and the shots he did take ended up missing, which is really quite unfortunate and very disappointing for me. However, I wasn't detected, so I was able to capture the B cap point, which is good for my team. That's going to give us that early points lead, and then as I always say, getting that early points lead is pretty important in these games because usually the team that gets that points lead can survive that initial loss of a ship if that ends up being the case. Not always the case, but it certainly does help. Now, I'm looking at the situation. There is at least one cruiser over at the C cap point who is hidden. And, of course, the enemy's got battleships, and they've got that destroyer headed over there as well. Now, I fired off those torpedoes at that Bismarck, but as you can see there, he's slamming on the brakes. He's turning away. Friendly cruiser, that Edinburgh, he pushed up there. He's also slammed on his brakes, dropped into his smoke screen, and I'm starting to turn hard and away. I kind of assume that at this point nothing's going to be detected, and I'm going to maybe look to go the other direction. Team manages to secure the C cap point, but you'll notice that this Edinburgh has drifted out of his smoke screen. Not only has he done that, but now he's hit the full speed ahead, and he is just out in the open. And he's being spotted by all of these enemy ships, and it's not helping that he's shooting, keeping his detection radius pretty much full blown at this point. So as a result of that, and effectively turning broadside on to not one battleship, but two, and a cruiser, and a destroyer up there, he's pretty much gonna get himself wrecked. And the first blood goes to the enemy team. Now, because the enemy team got that first blood, that's going to put them slightly up on points, but you'll notice that because my team had two of those caps, early on especially, we managed to weather that loss pretty well. As you can see, we're not too far behind on points. Now, I know there's at least one battleship hiding in that smoke screen, so I use the Edinburgh smoke screen here, while I let a free and lovely smoke screen go to waste, to fire off some torpedoes. And then I decide, yeah, maybe I don't want to sit here. There was a destroyer over there. I don't know the range of his torpedoes. For all I know, there could be something else that has 10 or more kilometer torpedoes hiding about. So I decide I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get out of here. Now I'm using that smoke screen again, accidentally firing off armor piercing from the previous battle that was still loaded, and switch over to the high explosive so I can start setting that Iowa on fire. I do manage to hit him, ricochets and shatters, unfortunately. Shots coming in there from a cruiser who's shooting blindly in the smoke and is actually getting quite accurate shots out there. The battleship that I was hoping to hit that was in that smoke screen, he's long gone. That's really disappointing. At this point, I haven't actually done any damage. My only claim to fame is effectively capping the B cap point. My team does manage to pull the situation back a little bit here as we manage to take out one of their destroyers, and we manage to kill one of their other ships. And that's when I'm spotted by this cruiser. This could be very bad for me. I definitely know the British cruiser line with those semi-armor piercing rounds and that high rate of fire is very problematic for US destroyers. because they will just chew you up. So I absolutely do not want to be here. I also know that he could have hydroacoustic, and he's probably got it active, so I don't want to get any closer than I have to. And at this point, I really don't want to get any closer at all. The cruiser, of course, gets smokescreen out there, and he gets torpedoes away into my smokescreen, but of course, you see, I'm returning the favor, and that's what I always say, smokescreens are torpedo magnets. Now, he did drift out of his smokescreen there, which left me exposed briefly, made me detected, and because I was detected and because the enemy knows I'm here, the Russian cruiser, with its Russian bias 12-kilometer radar, pops his radar and starts detecting me. And there's the shots that I was afraid that come in from that cruiser. Of course, he hits me. I'm on fire. There's no point in putting the fire out at this moment because I don't know what else I'm going to get hit with. And managed to secure my first kill, taking out that cruiser who continued to try and stay hidden in his smoke broadside on. He kind of had to know that was coming. I'm actually surprised he didn't pop his hydro and immediately run forward. Now that I'm no longer detected by the radar, pop the damage repair, put out that fire. Not going to be shot at anytime soon. This is good for me. And it also helped defend the B cap point. Now, you'll notice that I didn't actually get any defense points off of that because that cruiser effectively saw me, slammed on his brakes, popped his smoke screen, tried to cap, but when I pulled out of there and he was detected, that was a no-go for him, not wanting to be shot by the battleships off in the distance behind me, who are way off in the distance behind me. So he backed up into his smoke screen, which was outside of the cap. Now I'm firing off more torpedoes down those channels there, looking for the potential to hit something. With any luck, somebody will get hit. But, of course, things are moving about. Now, something's capping the B cap point. I'm not sure what it is. There's a possibility that it's that destroyer, and I actually think it might be the destroyer. But you'll notice there on the minimap, the last known detection of an Ibuki was up near the B cap point as well. So it could be the Ibuki, and I don't want to come around this island and have that be the case. That would be a very bad situation for me. I am detected, and sure enough, it is the Kiev here, and that is going to be a bit of a problem for him, and a bit of a problem for me, because the Kiev can cause me some serious hurt, especially because he's got an Ibuki as backup, and because I fired my shots off, that Ibuki, even though the Kiev is popping a smokescreen, can see me, and he's going to continue to put rounds downrange at me. So I'm breaking contact, I'm turning away, I'm stopping my shots out there in an effort to drop off detectability. That 20 seconds, a very long time. Managed to drop off detectability. This is going to save my ass in the long run. It's going to allow me to begin to maneuver without worrying about situations. Now, that smokescreen is there. That Ibuki's headed into that smokescreen, but I'm more concerned about that Kiev, and I'm thinking he's going to go ahead and try and sit in his smokescreen. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off torpedoes into that smokescreen. With any luck, I'll be able to get him. Decide I'm going to go ahead and pop my own smokescreen. And that's when I'm detected again by that Russian bias radar, that 12-kilometer radar, detecting me again. When you find yourself in this situation, guys, and you're in a destroyer, you're popping a smokescreen, and you've got Russian or other radar cruisers within their radar range, you gotta be careful. You gotta look for that icon. If you're detected, the best thing you can do is turn and run. Just run away. Open up the range as much as possible and get the hell out of there. Eventually, you'll either outrun and outrange that cruiser's radar, or you'll open up the distance and then he'll run out. His radar consumable will end. Did manage to hit that Kiev, cause some damage to him. Not enough to kill him outright, though, but the NMT team did secure the B cap point. Really disappointed by that. Didn't actually hit the Ibuki in there with any of my torpedoes. A little disappointed there. Trying to kill the Kiev here. Fire off shots again as I disappear back behind my own smoke screen. And again, trying to kill him, didn't land any shots yet again. Kind of really disappointed by that. Now, I have a friendly cruiser that's actually behind this island here. He's sort of helping, sort of not. Because he's behind that island, I can't really see what's down here. So I'm going to go ahead and take blind shots at torpedoes that direction. I do save one, though. I opt to save it just in case there's something else that pops up here. And I noticed that there's a cruiser, one of the radar cruisers who's broadside on. He's actually chasing down somebody. And I'm thinking maybe I might go ahead and consider taking torpedo shots at him. Gonna wait and see what happens. There's also a battleship that's pushing up here, and I might decide I want to kill him as well. Now, I don't know where that Ibuki went, right off the bat. It looks like he's run off the other direction. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and push up here, be very sneaky, get into the BCAP point, step on it, at the very least, prevent the enemy team from continuing to gain points. As you'll notice, we're equal on ships. So the next team that loses a ship is going to be at a disadvantage. So if my team can get on this cap and prevent the enemy from gaining more points, that'll keep us at an advantage if we lose a ship. Now I'm going to sit here for a little bit and contemplate whether or not I want to stay here and run the risk of capping and decide, nope, that Bismarck, he's pushing up hard and fast, and I don't want to be in range of him when he pops his hydroacoustic, because that's going to spot me, and I don't need to be shot at by him or any of his friends back there, especially not those cruisers. Do hit him on the nose, though, and I've got my first set of torpedoes back up again, and I'm looking for targets, and there is, again, is that cruiser. Fire off that at him, because it kind of looks like he's going to go and continue to chase down not only that destroyer, but possibly the battleship that's back over there as well. So I get that away, and I'm pushing around, and I'm begging the friendly ships here, these battleships, to push up around this island and help me. I mean, just look at how damaged some of these ships are. They're really hurting. If our battleships could push up here and cause some significant pain to them, that would be fantastic. But, of course, right now, it's just me who's out in the open, putting rounds downrange. Fire off those shots at the Iowa, who's very low health. He's kind of going to push around the side of that island. I'm hoping he'll sail into those. And now I've got a friendly Alabama who's basically taking the brunt of all of these attacks here. My smoke screen is available. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay it down for him. He didn't ask for it, but I'm going to lay it down for him, try and block line of sight for him, and get him some much needed reprieve from all of this incoming fire. And with any luck, some of the other battleships, as they come around here, will be able to use that smokescreen as well. Remember, this is an American smokescreen, so it's got that time limit on it that's absolutely ridiculous, one of the best. So the Alabama does disappear in there. The cruiser that was chasing the other ships, including that destroyer, did finally die. My team has a destroyer advantage. The enemy team just has that Kiev left, and he's pretty low health based off of our last known spot of him. But you'll notice that Alabama did not stay in my smokescreen. I have no idea why he didn't do that, but he's out in the open, he's burning, he's on fire, and he's exposed to not one, but two battleships and a cruiser, and they're all going to have their way with him. Not only that, but look here, this Yamato, this tier 10 battleship player, has a fresh smokescreen laid by an ally. I've told them in chat, use my smokescreen, use it, get in there, use that concealment, please. Nope, the Alabama, he's dead because he didn't stay in there, and the Yamato is refusing to turn and get in there. Managed to hit that Montana with my torpedoes. I think that's where I was aiming them, hard to tell. Very low health ship back over there. I'd really like them to shoot at him and finish him off. And now I'm going to go ahead, get back into my own smokescreen, and start taking shots at what I can. Again, the Yamato just pushing on up there. Didn't even bother to try and turn and sneak into the smokescreen. He didn't have very far to go to get in there. That Montana, very low health. Gonna go ahead and open up with my guns. With any luck, I can set him on fire and finish him off. Yes, I do set him on fire, so that's gonna burn because I know he put out that flooding. There's that Kiev, very low health. Finish off the Montana with flooding. Now, I'd really like to hit that Kiev and secure a double strike, but that Kiev, he's gonna drop off detectability as our Yamato gets taken out by the enemy Yamato because he decided to continue to push up rather than utilize what was available to him, stop, or even reverse. I know the bow-on meta is very played out, but I mean, come on. Something, anything. Play to survive, play to win. These are the things that you really have to do at high tiers. I mean, I had the free XP to free XP my way to certain ships. Doesn't necessarily mean people should do that. So I got those torpedoes out at that Yamato. He is reversing. He did beach himself. So these torpedoes, it looks like I'm going to hit him with one, maybe two. Come on, hit him with two. Yes, I do hit him with two. I only caused one flooding, though. He was on fire, but because I hit him with two, now he's going to go ahead and use his damage control. He's going to put that fire out. No, he's still flooding. This surprises me, actually. I go ahead and I open up as that Yamato burns to death, and I take out that Kiev. So there's no more destroyer. The enemy team is now down to just 3 ships. My team still has a destroyer advantage because there's 2 of us. I still have most of my health, or at least half of my health. There's one of the enemy radar cruisers. I'm sorry, there's one of the enemy cruisers, not radar cruiser. There's their enemy Bismarck. He's very low health. He's on fire. He's almost dead. I'd really like to secure the kill on him. Come on, can we do it? Get up there, start to take shots in there from the Bismarck's secondaries. Decide I'm going to go ahead and pop my smoke screen, slam on my brakes, set him on fire just as he gets taken out by guns. So no, didn't secure the kill there. But hey, maybe I could secure the kill on this Ibuki. Can I do it? He's very low health. He's burning in all these sorts of places. He's not going to survive this engagement. No, he gets taken out as well. So unfortunately, no extra kills for me. Now, there's one ship left, and that is that Russian radar cruiser, and he's got a lot of his health left. So I don't know where exactly he is. I pop out of my smoke screen, and holy shit, he's right there. He's got at least 50% of his health left here, and this is a problem for me as he pops his radar, and immediately I'm going to be targeted. Of course, I'm the closest ship, and I'm a major threat to him as I'm the only destroyer left in this game. So what do? I turn away. I don't sit. I don't try to run for my smoke screen. I just run away. Open up that distance. Very good for me. Very well played by him, though. Seeing that smoke screen pop up and being in a position, using that radar when he gets close enough, and using it specifically when he's suddenly detected. It tells him I'm not in that smoke screen anymore, and so I know he's there. So he just goes ahead and then uses it and causes kind of a brown alert moment for me. Now, he is there. I know he's used his radar consumable, so I don't have to worry about continuing to run away. My speed boost is almost up, which is fine. That radar is going to be on cooldown for at least a minute if he has any more radars. Now, we know that I was radared by him at least one other time in this battle, because I believe there were only 2 radar cruisers in this game, and I was radared a total of 3 times. Twice in rapid succession. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push up here into the B cap point yet again. My team is up on points, but you see the enemy team's not far behind, and that cruiser could still cause some significant damage to some of our battleships. He could set them on fire. He could also deal with me if I'm spotted yet again. He could probably wreck me and pull those scores back, but really, my team is way up on points comparatively, so he does have to kill something if he wants to stay in the game. He could still win it, though. He's playing very, very smart. He's keeping an island between him and at least one of the threats. One of our other threats is behind an island himself, which means he's not able to effectively put shots onto him. And the last threat we have here is, well, pushing up, and the only player that can shoot at and yet be shot at by that cruiser. Managed to secure the base capture at B yet again. That's the second time I've captured B, and decided, looking at the situation, I'm not going to bother chasing down that cruiser. I'm not even going to bother spotting him. He's either going to go hide if he's smart, or he's going to do something stupid if he's not, and I'm just going to head towards the A cap point. But I really don't think it's going to matter, because look at how many points we have left. Yep, we win on points before anybody else can get shots out, so he does survive the game. I do want to apologize in this battle if you hear any weird loud thumps. Those are actually my upstairs neighbor's footsteps, because he has cinder blocks for shoes. Anyway, that battle, 132,000 damage done, 3 kills, a lot of floodings, base captures there, and of course, only a devastating strike. Really disappointed no high caliber and no Confederate on that, and of course disappointed no Kraken Unleashed. It would have been nice. But hey, top of the team for XP, earned well over 2,400 base XP in that battle. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, as well as my live streaming schedule, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me and the channel, as well as gain some exclusive perks, including perk to be added to my private Discord channel, you can do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see featured on my channel, you can send it to my email address. And as mentioned, if you'd like to watch me play World of Warships, among other games, live on my live stream, you can do so by following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.